Okay, good morning. We should be live, but as always, we'll do our little 2-minute lag check. As I think that's what we should officially call it, a lag check.
Yeah.
Let's just have a look. Check that we are live on Instagram, which we should be. We are on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're there. Okay, fantastic. Good morning, Kirsty. How are you?
All right, thanks. How are you?
I'm okay. Have you got any snow where you are?
We have on the moors, but we haven't got any in Torquay.
Oh, okay. We've had no snow yet, but it's freezing cold.
Yeah, we had our fire on last night. It was so cold.
Oh, have you got a fire?
Yeah, I've got a real fire.
Oh, get you posh bitch. We just have the heating on, but it's so cold. Okay, well, as we're talking about the cold, there's a reason for that. We are fast approaching December, and December brings Christmas.
Yeah.
And lots of people, obviously, lots of businesses close over Christmas, which can mean that VAs, they don't work so much over Christmas. And as we've discussed in previous episodes, like if you go on holiday, how do you make money? It's exactly the same at Christmas. So today we want to talk about how you can make money whilst you're closed over Christmas. Is this an issue that ever affects you, or do you just constantly work through Christmas, Kirsty?
To be fair, I do work right up until Christmas because money mainly. So October, November are really busy for me in terms of birthdays. Everybody in my family's birthdays are either October or November, so I feel the pinch.
Yeah.
And so I generally do work right up until Christmas, and I only really take a few days off, mainly Christmas Eve, Christmas Day and Boxing Day. And then I just get straight back to it, but I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me.
And what about your clients, though? Do they not take time off over Christmas?
They do, but quite a lot of my clients, I don't really have to have that much of an interaction with them in terms of the work that I do for them. So, I can get ahead of my social media scheduling and creation and things like that. So it's actually quite beneficial to me to have that quiet period for them, because they're obviously off, enjoying their Christmas break, and I can just then get prepped, ready for the new year when it all starts again.
Yeah, but I suppose for some people, they might not have that luxury. They might have really small children and they might need to be there. I'm like you. Well, I say I'm like you. I don't work over Christmas. However, we only take, the core days off, which is one way of still making money over Christmas. But that doesn't help you if, for example, in our case, we have the option to pause packages. So clients can pause, and they quite often do pause when they're taking time off over Christmas. And so, aside from removing that option, which we really don't want to do, then that can cause a problem with making money, during the Christmas break. And there are some VAs that need to take longer off because the children are off school, or they want to make sure they're spending time with them, or maybe they're traveling. And so for those people, they may have to decide to not work with clients over Christmas. And it's about thinking about the ways you can still earn money during that time. And I think you've just touched on pre-scheduling things and getting them done ahead of time. I think one of the ways is to bulk your work ahead of the Christmas period. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think it's, if you do need to take that longer time off, then it's definitely, the way to do it, to bulk everything up and get everything scheduled in ahead of, you being off. And there are other things you can do if you do have small children. Not everybody wants to get up and at 6 o'clock in the morning and start working, but you can get up and ahead of the kids being awake or work in the mornings and take the afternoons off. That is another option if you can't take the entire period off.
Yeah, that's true. If anyone's got any questions, by the way, about this, then just drop them in the comments, or if you're watching this on playback, you can always just send us a message. And it's be especially useful to know, do you struggle with this? Are you taking time off over Christmas? Are you worrying about how you're going to pay the bills? Do you have an option for clients to pause their accounts? And if they are pausing, how is that going to affect you? It might not affect you yet. It might affect you in January instead. But yeah, I think with the amazing invention of AI, there's lots of things you can do, like you've just said, to have work done in advance. So, you can use AI to automate things, to make sure it almost appears like work's still going out over Christmas. And therefore you can be offering that kind of support to your clients. There's other things though. I mean, you could be thinking about passive income or semi-passive income, streams of income whilst you're off. So throughout the year, if you could be creating things like digital courses, or you could be creating saleable ebooks and things like that, that could be sold over Christmas, and actually taking advantage of Black Friday, because if you can take advantage of Black Friday in November, that can massively bolster your income ready for the drop in December. Do you ever do any Black Friday deals, Kirsty?
No, I don't actually. It's not something I've ever thought about doing.
Okay, and no reason for that?
No. Again, when we have these conversations, I do go, oh, that's something I should do.
So I always do 5 deals in 5 days in November. So it'll be next week, 24th to the 28th. It's all for the VA community, this one, rather than my my virtual assistant agency. However, last year I did also do 5 deals in 5 days for my VA agency, and that went really well, because we had things like, we sold a 20-hour package, digital courses that were sold, and things like that. So I think it is a great way to think throughout the year of different ways to diversify your packages. If you can break your packages into one-offs, like we can set up your CRM system, or we can launch your course, things like that, then you could take advantage over Black Friday and sell those one-offs, because then customers aren't, feeling like they're tied into anything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're going to then take advantage of that support they've really needed all year, but at a discounted rate. You can have lots of money coming in, which you can put in the bank, ready to support you over the Christmas period.
That is a good idea, and I think it's good advice, because you don't, like I say, it's not something I've ever really thought about, but actually it's something that everybody should think about, shouldn't they? Have that set up and ready to go for Black Friday. So you are, you can put that money aside as well for Christmas, so that covers you while you're off, taking time out with the kids, or whatever it is you're doing to cover your finances.
Yeah, absolutely. And for VAs, there's so many other things, like things that go hand in hand with being a VA, like travel. So lots of VAs have turned to become independent travel agents. I have. And one of the things that a lot of people do over Christmas is they travel. They might travel abroad to see family. So it could be a great opportunity to then help your clients with travel over the Christmas period. And also other things like utility warehouse, there's lots of different ones, but if you can join that, not just for Christmas obviously, but when people are likely to spend more money over Christmas, which is going to be when you need your heating on the most, then it's a great opportunity to say, look, I can help you save some money on your bills. So whilst they may be pausing on the assistant work, on the VA work, there are other revenue streams you've got churning away in the background. Is that something that you've ever thought about?
No, it isn't. Again, something I've never thought about, but I think I spoke to a potential new client the other day, and we were just sort of chatting about what I could do, and I jokingly said, oh, I can do your Christmas shopping online for you if you like, and he's like, oh, could you? If I send you a list? And that's something that I do joke with people, but there are people out there that don't have the time. I personally don't have the time.
I don't have the time,
go into shops and look at where you can get the best deal. And years ago I used to, but now the way that things are, you can order everything online. But again, people don't have the time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I had a client once, he was quite a wealthy client, and he used to tell me who he had to buy presents for, what they liked, and then I would put all of the gift ideas together for him. And I did actually used to offer, when I first started out, a package over Christmas where we could do your Christmas shopping for you. So that is another great thing you can do just seasonally. You could also do things like, let's plan your 2026 goals together. So you could have like a goal planning session with your client for the new year, and just like add an extra hour, so it's another hour's income, things like that. You could take advantage of affiliate income. So think about the tools that you use every day, like Notion or Asana, and how you could maybe affiliate those and make more money over Christmas, with people who are more likely to probably sign up. Because the one good thing about December is everybody's starting to think about January and the new year, and it's a fresh start, and these are the new things I need to do. So to be able to say, well, actually these tools will help you with that, and earn commission on the back of that, that's another, it's getting ahead of the trend, isn't it? Ahead of it, and putting those ideas in people's heads early on. I'm working with some clients at the moment on strategy, and this is the very thing we're talking about, like making sure that we're putting things out there as soon as January hits, so that people are like, yeah, I'm ready to make a change, this is what I need to do. And also another thing you can do in December is you can offer a January sale, a bit earlier, because lots of people do that. You could offer Boxing Day sale for your services, and you can also say secure me at a discounted rate for January, so they don't start work in December, but they do secure you in December, ready for January. But you just you put like a bundle in there, or you put a bonus in, or you make it a little bit cheaper. So those are the kind of things that you can think about doing ahead of time as well.
Yeah. And I think as well, because people, a lot of people do take 2-3 weeks off at Christmas. They do literally take December.
Yeah.
One of my clients is going away in January to Bali for a month.
Lucky devil.
Yeah. To be fair, I said, can I come? She went, yeah, of course you can. I was like, oh. But it's good as well. Get yourself prepared for those type of clients, and get your social media and your presence out there, because people will very often think, how am I going to cover my emails? How am I going to cover any inquiries? All that kind of thing in that period. So if you're out and present, they will then, and you're promoting those kind of services, they will then contact you to look after their inbox or look after their phone calls while they are off.
That's a really good idea. So thinking, oh, great that you're going away, that's amazing, but who's looking after your emails? Yeah, I love that. That's great. It's a great thing to put into their heads, isn't it, to make them think about it. And also just being quite proactive and saying, oh, I love that you're taking time off, absolutely champion that, but why don't we get in the diary now, like a January jump start? Why don't we get that in? I know you're not ready to buy yet, or this is a great time to revisit your pipeline, like people that you've had calls with who didn't convert, and say, hey, I know it wasn't right for you in 2025, but let's think about 2026, the changes you want to make. Let's get a power hour booked in. Let's see if there's a way that I can help you with just some advice on the things you could be doing, not necessarily to sign up to services. So it's thinking about what could you pre-sell now that clients will love in the new year. So I would definitely say it's a good time to revisit your sales pipeline and start making those calls ready for 2026, and just touching on the psyche of it. You weren't ready this year, but next year is going to be your year, and this will be a really good time to secure an hour with me or whatever. I think I'm definitely going to do that myself, to be honest.
I think I'm going to put a post out about managing their inboxes.
Yeah.
If you do end up working with clients like that do want you to cover that period, they will then realise how beneficial you are to them.
Yeah.
So potential, they might not potentially go into anything in the new year to a long-term client, but it might do.
Yeah, it's true. And that's what it's all about. It's creating a funnel, isn't it? A sales funnel where you're saying, what about if you just have a temporary service from me, which is looking after your inbox, and then you do such an amazing job that when they come back, they can't do without you. Oh, by the way, did you know I also offer this? I also offer that. And that's actually how you should onboard clients anyway, because the amount of clients that we have that just get frozen with fear, they just don't know what you can do. They have no idea, and you have to educate them. So starting with one thing, I mean, we always advise that anyway, don't we, with clients? We say start small, start with just a few tasks, get used to those, and then start adding more on, because you start to get to know what that person can do. So actually your point about let's just start with an email package can then naturally lead on to other things. I mean, one of the things we do is a free 5-hour trial. We only offer 3 a month. We're not doing that now, but we have done. And we do it on purpose, because once they've got a month with us and they see the value, they normally then convert into a paying client.
Yeah, and I think actually the clients we've offered, they have turned into long-term clients, haven't they? I don't think there's one that has gone, because the thing of it is if you're not telling people what you can do, they're not going to ask you. People generally don't say, well, because they feel it's a bit insulting. Well, what can you do? So if you're telling people what you can do, that will then go, oh, it's like, for example, proof in the pudding. We have a client that was a little bit stuck on what to delegate, didn't really have the time to look at what he had to delegate. So I just jumped on a call with him and I said, this is what we can do. Went through about 6 or 7 different things. And now he's converted over to doing something completely different. So he now feels like And I think as well, and I sent him the work over. He was like, I didn't realise you could do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you are showing people and telling people what you can do, it doesn't matter if you shout about it once, twice, 3 times a week. Who cares? Just shout about it.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, shout about it. Like, well, people, you assume people know,
Yeah.
but they don't know, and you do have to educate them. The other thing that you can do is you can use the time effectively. So don't see it as a negative that, you know, clients have gone on holiday and maybe they're not using your services so much. We always find that a lot of clients pause, but then we get super busy.
Yeah.
And actually, December's quite a busy time for us on the run up, and then January will then get busy because people do want to make change. So you can use that time, that downtime, to set up your marketing, your email sequences, updating your socials, your blog posts. You can start to make yourself more visible, because if you've been swamped all year and you haven't really found the time to do that and to work, you know, on your business yourself, utilize that time over the festive period, as well as spending time with your family, to be able to work on your business, and you yourself work on your goals and what you want to achieve in the new year.
Yeah, I've actually got a list of.
Oh, have you?
I've got a list of 11 things that I have to do over in that Christmas period to get myself ready for 2026. So that's time. I know, I'm so sad. So
no,
it's
great.
So that's that. You know, I've got to put aside a couple of hours a day over, I don't know, 3 days or whatever, to get all of this sort of set up, and you know, so I'm ready to go. And I don't. And that's one thing I think as VAs we don't spend enough time doing our admin and, you know, checking where we are with things and that kind of thing, because you don't have the time.
Yeah, that's true.
VA yourself. But so it's a good time to utilize that and plan, you know, January and February and March, because they are going to be, generally for VAs, are a busy quarter.
Yeah, you're right. Get prepared for it. Enjoy the break, because it's going to get busy, hopefully. Yeah. One of the things I'm preparing for over Christmas is my workshop. So this is a great time to plug that. January the 30th, how to get clients. Really simple. I get asked all the time how to get clients. And I see people doing these like mini courses that you self-led, or an ebook, and it's so fluffy and full of crap. I wanted to do something that was really intensive. So it's a 3-hour workshop on the 30th of January. And actually next week you can get it discounted £100 off as part of our Black Friday sales. So if you head to the link in the bio or go to morethanava.org, you'll see the Black Friday banner. Just click for alerts so you can get notified of that. And it's going to be like a proper deep dive into the strategies that you need to take to get clients, because it's difficult. It's really, really difficult. But December is a great time to make yourself more visible and show the world that they're going to need you in the new year. So really take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And then it's just, like I say, it's thinking about the packages that you can offer instead of just your services. It's the one-off packages that you could maybe offer to people.
Yeah.
So thinking about things like, maybe we could write your standard operating procedures for you over the new year, you know, because a lot of businesses are busy themselves and they don't have the time to delegate or give you instructions and things to do. So what are the kind of things that businesses are struggling to get to that they could just, because they need to tangibly hold on to it and look after it, but they can let go of it over Christmas so you can pick it up. And one of those might be SOPs, you know, standard operating procedures. That might be a time that it might be that they're constantly updating it, but they don't touch it over Christmas, and you could make it digital. You could turn it into a digital training platform for people. So I suppose thinking outside the box, do you think what tasks can you think of that, or things that clients don't release, like their emails, for example? They might take a break from emails over Christmas, but they don't want you in there day to day when they're busy, because they're constantly, you know, having to check emails and they're worried you're going to delete something by accident. But when they're off, that's a great time for you to go up and do like a detox in their inbox.
Exactly. One of the other things as well, a lot of companies at the end of the year do a HR audit. So they go through and make sure that all of the DBS checks are up to date, all the insurance certificates are up to date, and so that's something you could offer. Let me do an audit on your staff's HR packages.
Yeah.
Make sure everything's up to date. Make sure we've got everything, because we have that where we check the insurance, associate agreements are current. You know, any other documents that we need to have, you know, for our associates. So that's something that we do. So you could offer that as a package as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant idea. You're right. The audits are really good. We've got somebody on Instagram, Create Canberry. Morning, ladies. Good morning to you. We're talking today about how to make money over Christmas. So if you're only just joining, we'll have this on the grid later. You can watch it back or listen when it's released as a podcast episode. But yeah, we're talking about that. So if you've got any concerns, are you taking time off over Christmas? You're not sure if you're going to make money, drop them in the comments and we're going to give you some ideas on the things you can do. So we've already mentioned things like creating digital courses, creating books that you can sell, offering to people in your sales pipeline. You weren't ready this year, but January is going to be the year for you. Or sorry, 2026 is going to be the year for you. Why don't you book my time in January? You can offer Black Friday deals. You can offer Boxing Day deals, January sales, all these things that kind of, although you might take a slump over December, are building you up ready for January. So if you do Black Friday in November, that's going to bolster your income for December. And then if you've got deals going off for January, that's, you know, that there's income coming then as well. The other thing you can do is upsell to your past clients. So never be afraid to go back to old clients. So you could go back, send them a festive email, or even do something that people don't do enough of, send a proper card. And in the card, you could say, just wanted to give you this little voucher for a one-off offer that I'm doing in the new year, which is tidying up your systems or getting your post scheduled or, some one-off admin hours to get things off your plate. Pre-book them now. And take the payment now, but work after Christmas.
Yeah.
So thinking about things like that.
That's a good idea. And I think also it's key to remember that there is a big thing at the end of January that all self-employed people have to do. So you could then, you could sort of say to people, send me all your receipts, I can collate them, put them into files, all of that kind of thing, get them all sent over, ready for them to file their tax returns.
That is a brilliant one. And Kirsty's actually helping me with that at the moment, because despite the fact that I have an accountant, so don't be put off by the fact that people might already have an accountant, you still have to get all of those receipts in order for your accountant. And I hate it. So Kirsty helps me with that. That's a really good one to offer. So it is thinking about the kind of things that are going to be coming up for people in January, February, talking about the quarter and how you can help them in that time. You can also sell gift cards over Christmas for your services as well. So I used to do this. I used to say, buy the gift of time. So you could give people, people could buy time for their loved one with you so that they're not so busy. And then you would be targeting, the spouse or whatever of that person. But this would work locally. So if we would go into like Facebook groups, say, look, I just want to introduce myself. If you're struggling for Christmas gifts this year, this is what I do. And maybe you've got someone at home that's super busy. It doesn't have to be business. It could be life admin. Why don't you buy them the gift of time? And that's such a unique gift as well.
Do you know what, you're right? And I think as well, as VAs, we generally always focus on work-related support we can offer, don't we? But actually there are people out there that do need things like their weekly shop doing, or and I noticed actually a VA the other day on her website, she offered things like what was it? She was doing like the food shop kind of thing. Arranging for the dog to go to the groomers, or or just like general, like everyday kind of things. And it was a really kind of like an eye opener, because you thought, we always promote, don't we? Yeah, we can do this for your business. Yeah, we can do that for you. But we don't generally say, actually, I could do your online shopping for you once you have it delivered, or I could renew you. And also another thing, people always, I do this, I don't know if anybody else does that, it'd be interesting to hear. I always forget what I've subscribed to. So you can also say to people, I can go through your subscriptions, cancel anything that you don't want anymore, because people don't have the time to do. I used to live with this in a block of apartments years and years ago, and the guy on the ground floor, Richard his name was such a lovely guy, and he had subscribed to a wine.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. Yeah,
every month, and he was so busy with work, he didn't drink wine. He subscribed to it, right? And because he didn't have time to go through and find out how to cancel it. Because you know what these big companies are like, they make it so difficult to cancel, don't they? And he used to do that every single week, every single month he'd get a bottle. So people don't have the time to go through and figure out how to cancel certain subscriptions. I've just realised I've been paying for 2 Canva accounts.
How much money have you spent on that?
One is 27 and one is 13.
No. Yeah. Why are you paying a £27 Canva subscription?
I don't know exactly.
Do you know what though? You're so right. You could even do audits of people's bank accounts.
Yeah.
I just found out because I had like 50 quid come out of the bank, and I was like, "What is that? I don't know what that is." But I hadn't realised it had also come out the month before, and it's so dodgy. I've got to try and get the money back. It's basically we've just bought we bought a shop that we've turned into a co-working space, and I wanted to turn the image of the front of the shop into like a drawing, and there was an app where you could do it. You just put a credit on it. It was like 99 pence or something like that. Did it, but then subscribed me to a monthly membership for $49.99, but I didn't even see that. So because you're so busy, I just wasn't paying attention. So things like that are really useful. The other thing is, so thinking outside the box, people make returns. Now, you, as part of your job for one of your clients, you have to make returns. It's a staging company. Who wants to get on bloody chat and do returns?
So time consuming.
So time consuming. If you can offer those gifts you don't want, let me help you return them, and you could do all of that. Later I'm gonna have to play this back and write it all down.
Send it to me when you've done it.
There are so many things that you can do if you really, really think about it, to make sure that you are A, still making money over Christmas, and B, securing time in January to make money, and making money in December by doing Black Friday deals in November. Anybody that's listening, are you doing Black Friday deals?
They are now.
Well, they are now. I'm doing them for my VA community, but I'm not doing them for my VA business, because we have transitioned into business management solutions, and actually we go for more high-end people now. So I didn't want to undervalue ourselves by doing Black Friday for that business, but for the VA community side of things, I know VAs are strapped for cash, and it's a really good opportunity for them to get some great deals. But like I said, last year we did do it for our VA business, and we did make sales by selling digital courses. We sold a limited amount of 20-hour packages with a 20-hour discount, 20% discount. And that we only had 3 of those. I think we sold one of them, and that client's still a client today. So it's just so worth thinking about. If you've never diversified your offers before, you've never packaged up maybe something you do quite often for people, like maybe you create their online courses for them, for coaches, then make that a one-off thing, make that a service that you can sell cheaper as part of like a sale or a December offer, or secure your time in January for goal planning and things like that. I think flash sales will really work well for VAs over that period, and pounding that pipeline, getting in touch with people you haven't spoke to for a while and saying, I know you weren't ready this year, but next year, because hit them when they're planning. People will be planning, I'm going to do it next year. This is the time for showing up in their inbox, having an email campaign going out, telling them that you're going to be available. You can pay now and secure my time, but we'll get started in January. Do all of the things. The other thing you can do is partner with another VA for a holiday collaboration. So maybe if another VA has got a skill set you don't have, perhaps it's social media, for example, then perhaps, and you've got something that you can bring to the table, you could do like a cross promotion with them, which would double the reach of your audience. So something that you could do together and then split the sales. Have you ever thought about that?
No, I haven't actually. It's not, again, it's something I've never thought about. But I think also as well, it's key to remember that any Black Friday deals that you do around this time of the year, people are going to still be going on holiday in the summer, or they're going to be taking long weekends. And if you've offered a service like, I don't know, inbox management or something like that, they will then come back to you. So it's about thinking about what services you can offer at this time of the year that could be repeated all the way through 2026. And again, for like example, the tax return that you did the collation of receipts and invoices, that person will then come back to you next year. Or you could do a Black Friday where they book for you for this year, and next year or next quarter, whatever, you can do a discount on another service. So you kind of buy one, get one half price, or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's worth Googling or just putting into ChatGPT what are the key, because I know we've just talked about taxes, like the key dates for things, but there's one for solicitors, isn't there? They have to do an annual audit or filing every year at a certain time of year as well.
Yeah.
So that's another one. Another one is corporation tax. That can be a different date for different people, for limited companies. August is a good time for that one. VAT, getting your VAT receipts together, that's every quarter normally for people. So it's looking at what, and also what's coming next year. I think we've got the World Cup next year, haven't we? So
yeah.
I think so. So it's thinking about all the big events that are happening, how you can monetize on those, and whilst you've got downtime over Christmas, use that to look ahead to the next year and think about how you can create new packages, new services based on what's coming in the new year.
I do that. I do dates for the diary for each quarter, so I can see what events are happening and relate them to my clients, so I can work, embed that around like the social media posts and what we're talking about, things like that. But you could, if for example the World Cup, you could do someone's travel or book their tickets or look at the hotels and what's around and where they can go. So you can literally book their whole holiday. So that's something else to look at as well.
Yeah, which is why registering as an independent travel agent is not a bad thing at all. If you're going to be doing things like that. Another one that's a bit off the cuff, but it's well worth thinking about, is selling merch or printables. So if you're a VA, about organisation and planning. What if you created a planner that you could sell to your clients or to your audience, something that's going to help them in a way that you understand what planning needs to be done, or even to other VAs. Like I said to you, I use like a time blocking system for all of my tasks. And then I had this spreadsheet, didn't I, on how you can work out what your availability is for the new year. You could be selling that to other virtual assistants. So, your knowledge can help another VA. So don't just think about client potential, think about VA potential, maybe even coaching.
That's a good idea. And that's actually a really good point, isn't it? Because when I did that spreadsheet call with you, I'd never even, and I'm a whiz on Excel. I love Excel. And I'd never really sat and thought about that process. So you're right, that is a good idea to sell that as a package.
Yeah, there's so many things you could sell as packages, isn't there? When you really think about it, you could do power hours for clients, like let's get your tech set up in a day, mini workshops and things like that. You could do somebody's email marketing, an admin system overhaul, a good time to implement systems, because you cannot believe the amount of people that don't have a CRM. So they're so busy not able to think about that and think about implementing it. But if they're off over Christmas, let's get those spreadsheets into a CRM system. Let's get your tech set up. And you can also they don't have to be with you. You could record everything you're doing for training and give it to them. And so they've got time to absorb it, ready for the new year.
I think as well, if you're doing something like that, you can make that a general sellable item, can't you? Because it doesn't have to be massively unique to that specific industry or that specific company. You could just do it like a blanket and just sell it of like what processes that work, like onboarding new clients or somebody contact us or whatever, and then you can sell that package of this is the best platform to use for this and this, and sell that as a training video for anybody.
Yeah. And once you've got it, you can repurpose it, you can run it throughout the year then, create a new package every Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can white label, things as well, so that, for example, we do white label Go Up High Level, and we offer that because we've made it so bespoke for VAs. It's not a cheap thing to do, but there are other things you could white label and then sell them as your own as well. So recapping, we're talking about things like diversifying your current packages into mini offers or one-off offers, affiliate programs, becoming a utility warehouse representative, so you can help clients with their bills over the festive period when it's really cold and they're going to have the heating on more, registering as independent travel agent, creating mini courses, ebooks. These are all the things you can do. And also, goal setting for 2026, planners as merchandise. There's so many things that you can do if you really sit and make a list. I would encourage you for the next week to write down in detail every single job that you do for clients and think about how you could make money on that in a different way. So for example, one of the things that I now offer is launch strategy, as you know, and on the back of that, I can create a guide, a planner for how to follow a launch process. So they've got it to go back to again and again and again. I could create a series of videos or video training within a particular CRM system to show them how to use it and sell the CRM system. So it's all the different things, all the different ways you can monopolize on that one thing. Is there anything that stands out for you in your mind that you could instantly go, I could do that?
Off the top of my head, no. But again, it is about, that is a really good point to make, if you actually sit and write something down, because and I think as well, talk to your partner or whatever about it, because when we sit and have these conversations, I always do think of stuff like, I could be doing that, So write it down. You can refer back to it, and you will often come back to it and think, I could do that as well as that, and then that will lead to that. So so it's all about thinking outside of the box, isn't it?
Yeah, but you do also need a launch strategy. This is so important. Like Black Friday, in my VIP membership, I did a whole Black Friday a few weeks ago. We do like a fortnightly talk through the tech where we show people the tech setup in the CRM system. And we did one about the Black Friday funnel, because it's so intensive. You can't just do a Black Friday. You can't next week say, hey, here's Black Friday. Here you go. Here's my offer. It doesn't work. For weeks now, I've been posting. I've been doing emails out to my email list, telling them it's coming, getting the landing pages ready in the background, getting the checkout carts ready, warming people up to the offer. So making sure all the tech's done, making sure people know. And then you launch it. You can't just go, here it is. So if you are going to do Black Friday, you literally, look, it's next Friday. I'm doing it every day for next week, but you could just do it next Friday. You've literally got today, the weekend, and every day next week to start banging on about it. I would be doing videos every single day, and it's not too late. If you've got people on your email list, and you should have people in your email list, even if it's not a massive amount, because you should be constantly out there all through the year with lead magnets, building up your email list with potential clients. Get that out there as well. So get the emails out to people, letting them know about your Black Friday offer. And like I say, we did one last year, the 20-hour package, 20% off. So that was a really big reduction. It was a £180 discount. That's massive to someone. And the client that signed up for that at the time really desperately needed a website building. So it was a great opportunity for her. Got that done, needed to take a break from us because she couldn't afford it, and then came back, and she's been a client ever since.
Yeah.
The return on investment for that small amount of pain is well worth it.
Absolutely. And you're right. You can't just wake up on Thursday next week and go, I think I might do Black Friday tomorrow. You have got to prep. You've got to have it. If you're going to do it, you've got to do it right, because if you want to reach out to the right people, you've got to have all that warming up and get everything in line to go Friday morning.
Yeah, 100%. Do you know what I'm going to do on the back of this? I'm going to turn this into a payable ebook for VAs. How to make money over Christmas. There you
go. I don't mind. I'll only charge you 50%.
Yeah, Kirsty's in on it. Actually, we'll just give it for free to our members. So we're wrapping it up early today because we've got places to go and people to see. But just to remind you, it's not about replacing the client work. It's about diversifying your income, diversifying your offer or your packages so that your income feels more stable, scalable, and more fun as well. You can do so many fun things when you think about it. And you don't have to launch some more. You just need to pick one and then start planting the seeds for people in your audience. So it is fun. It is fun to think, I could... instead of just doing, a detox, I could do it this way and I could do it that way. And, pick some of the boring stuff that people hate to do, like you've said, the tax returns. Yeah. What would your final thoughts be, Kirsty?
I was just going to say, get it out on your social media, your ideas, because if there is somebody reading your idea, they might not necessarily need it, but they might know somebody that does. So it's all about word of mouth as well. So just get all your ideas and your offers out as soon as you can. Just keep regularly posting about them, and people will just, I know someone that can do that for you. And there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, and hit those local Facebook groups as well.
Yeah.
You do your gift cards locally. Tell people, do you know someone who struggles to keep on top of all the life admin, who struggles to keep on top of their business admin? Why don't you buy them the gift of time?
Yeah.
So think about doing that as well. Well, if you do have any questions for us, you can always drop them in to us on Instagram or on the morethanava.org website. Just drop them in. You know where we are, me and Kirsty. And we'll be back next Friday. Let me just check what we're talking about next Friday in my Notion planner. I used to hate Notion, but now I love it. Without it, another system I probably don't need. What are we talking about next week? Let me have a look. I can't remember. Oh, here we go. Notion. Okay, next week we are talking about. Oh, I don't know. Actually, I haven't thought about it.
Oh, did anybody? Don't forget, we're looking for people to come onto the show to help in any tasks that you're struggling with, or if you're not sure how to get something set up. So if you are interested, then do drop us a message.
Yeah, what we really want, like Kirsty had a brainwave of an idea, is to get a VA that's starting out to come onto the show with us and ask us questions live and just fire away at us and get some free advice. So if you're interested in that, you can go to morethanava.org/podcast and you can apply there. But we are looking for people to join, as Kirsty's just said. And actually, if you've got some ideas for a discussion you want us to have, drop us a DM on Instagram. Let us know what you think we should talk about, and we'll make that part of the plan.
Definitely.
Well, enjoy your weekend, guys, and we'll see you next week. All the best. Bye.